The funny thing is I can't even believe that I'm going to be unlocking them today. I mean,
that'd be pretty.
This is
it's
nuts.
a culmination of so much effort, work, and credit card swiping. I tell you.
Galactic Legends.
I mean, who would have thunk you'd come back to it just for this?
I mean, people are going to be excited.
Just for the one thing that really would have made us both quit the game.
But people are going to be so excited because, I mean, they're going to be able to come back and see me come back to the game to swipe a credit card. Ooh. And they're going to see me swipe the credit card. They're going to see me buy these 2 characters.
Yeah, they didn't know there's a secret option in there that you literally click on it and suddenly you can say credit card information. You just type in which credit card it is, your number, and then
what's
boom.
up, Chris?
Well, you're just swiping it right on your cell phone, right? Like they'd like to do these days in this magical land of Oz that we live in. Mm-hmm. I mean, even I'm excited about this.
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the Galactic Legend on my phone. Are you ready?
Yeah, everybody's gonna see it.
Okay. All right. You ready? Here we go. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Pop, boop, boop, boop.
See that secret credit card option there?
Pop,
yep.
boop, boop,
popped up for you.
So
all right, good.
Do this.
Yep. There's a secret unlock code.
Okay. No, what about this? Hold on.
Ooh, you got the toy inside.
Yeah. It's a Cracker Jack box. Little did you know.
Okay. So hold on.
I got Kylo. I got Rey.
When you do this APK hack from your phone, you have to, the left, you've got all these menu options. Mm-hmm. Swipe this one over.
Yep.
This. Come down, click this, and then you're going to have to put in
Oh,
this
it's
code.
A digital padlock. That's kind of cool. Rotary style. How does that work?
The rotary girder.
Yep. Okay, so when you put in this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
And to slide it to the left. I didn't know that.
And you don't even have to do the event. So when you come over here, just hit this, and it's going to ask for that. It's going to ask for that, and then just swipe to the left. Swipe to the left. See?
And then confirm. Yes, I want to.
Yeah.
Purchase.
You have to hit confirm.
Oh, you cannot confirm or deny.
See, watch. Look at that. Ding, 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 ding.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Boom. 7-star each. I didn't know they were a full unlock. I thought you had to work up.
It just goes through all of the tiers at once.
It
just does all of them.
What's going on?
See, that's pretty handy.
Yeah.
You have to get all those ridiculous tickets. That's awesome.
Yeah. This is pretty cool.
Looks really normal, too.
Barrett says it's the worst April Fool's joke ever.
I figured somebody would talk about it.
Dang it.
It's April 1st?
It's April 1st? Is it really April 1st?
Joke's on us.
The joke is we're all still in quarantine.
April Fool's?
I don't know. I don't really celebrate it.
I didn't realize it was April 1st. Let me tell you something. You know how many people are going to seriously see that thumbnail and they're going to come in here and they're going to be like, dude, that's just disrespectful.
How could you?
That's like
unsubscribing.
That's like clickbait. I'm serious.
How could you do clickbait online?
That's clickbait.
I think everybody should be good and worn out on clickbait by now because, I mean, it's so rampant, so ridiculous. People do it all the time.
Yeah.
Next one is going to be like, oh, sorry, guys. It's just me and Artisan K today. SureShot died.
Oh. Well, it can be us on your channel.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been putting out a couple of videos.
A couple, yeah.
Here and there.
I like to try to keep a
You
backlog so
got
that way
4
nobody...
or 5 now on your channel.
Yeah, 7. It's
And-
More than one.
And you're in a couple of them.
Yeah, like 3.
Like 3 of those 5.
Exactly.
Actually, my favorite video you have, you guys put out what do you call it? Like an outtakes?
Oh, our outtakes?
Yeah.
The outtakes one where you guys are laughing. You just laugh for 5 minutes straight.
The funny part about
What the
that
heck is that
outtake
about?
is the fact that we had to get all the sillies out first. We turned the camera on, started recording, got our new camera gal. She's doing a great job and doing a lot of editing for us, which is awesome.
Camera gal.
Yeah. My sister-in-law,
Whoa!
Name drop!
So we're sitting there having a good time chatting back and forth, and I think obviously Artisan and I are used to each other's type of humor, so it just kind of bounces off us. It's not that big of an issue, but with an audience, suddenly it just created an extra aura of hilarity or whatever.
Well, there was one person,
somebody actually in the room to see what we were doing, and for some reason we just couldn't stop laughing, and it was a bunch of randomness that all happened before we even started filming the video. So as soon as we got that all out, and then started with the and welcome back or whatever, it was just nice and smooth from there on out. No outtakes, no issues. Just record the whole video from that point on. So
see, I'm used to having Rango here, and that helps me get out of the funk of not being funny, and all of a sudden now he's not here. I can't do this.
When you got a dog to laugh at your jokes, I mean, you
Exactly.
feel like a rock star.
Exactly.
That's true. But he's not on the couch.
Yeah,
so.
it's very upsetting.
Not here at the moment.
I cry.
Yeah.
But no, I figured that was worth having an outtake video for. It's just funny because the outtakes usually happen after or during, but this was all before.
All before, leading into. And now we have another video coming out here in a couple of days.
Planning on doing all the publishing on Saturdays. We try to have a certain day throughout the week that we film, and then we just kind of keep a backlog going. So in case there's anything that comes up that, we're COVIDed out of the area or whatever and can't come and do that, just have another one ready to be published. So don't worry. It's going to be a consistent thing.
Yeah. Consistency.
The big asterisks and a big hopeful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's kind of crazy. So
It's madness.
yeah. Well, hopefully the internet keeps up today. I'm going to apologize in advance. I have my entire household home. I can already see the internet dashing a little bit. And every human being
decreasing.
Well, every human being is on my internet today, and every single one of them is doing homeschooling.
Not me.
And
I've already done all my homeschooling.
I can already tell you that I am going to have my entire household on the internet, and it's going to be a nightmare today. It's the only. Normally, I disconnect everyone, and we have exclusivity, and we do direct connect, and
your
it's
son
never an
sleeps
issue.
in, he might not be
over here.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, and so normally I disconnect because he'll stream and he'll take up 50 megs of the bandwidth and just destroy.
He's Call of Dutying. It might be.
Live stream.
Might take some of your intro nets.
And unfortunately, if he wakes up, we gotta hopefully get this done before he wakes up. Because if he does, I can't disconnect because I have other kids that are actually doing homeschooling and they need the internet.
Means something. It's
they're
important.
they're actually doing.
How many
school.
actual play hours do you have on that game, son? Oh, a fortnight's worth.
Yeah. Or 600 fortnights worth.
600 fortnights worth.
I know.
Every fortnight.
So unfortunately now I have the internet wide open to everybody, and some of them are not as responsible as others. So
plenty of interesting statistics out there. They talk about how you can spend up to I think 8 years of your life sitting at red lights. You spend over a quarter of your life sitting on the John. All these ridiculous things.
Who's John?
If you actually had these days somebody's going to come up with it, but somebody's going to find the statistic out about how many hours on average a male human being games in his lifetime, and I'm probably going to be sickened by that.
I'll tell you what.
I'll be below average.
I was going to say mine would be below average.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say mine personally. I'm just saying hearing those numbers of the average is going to be sickening.
It might make me feel better. Well, the average is
going
going
to make us all feel better. That's for sure.
That's not so bad then.
I mean, I guess Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is definitely a little bit of an exception to that rule, but
still a game.
I'll have a little blip on the radar for 4 years where it's like, wow, you lived 6 hours a day on this game.
Just think about it. Retirement.
Did you get pulled into Jumanji? What happened there?
You play games and you wash your car when you retire. So, I mean, how many hours you do that?
I did weird obsessive things for a while. There was a time when I had cars, really nice cars, and I spent hours, fiddle-faddling with my car, and cleaning it all the time.
Buffering it. I'm gonna now.
Open the hood and just look at the engine and clean it up and stuff.
You drive away, you got a speck of dust.
Where'd that dirt come from?
Yeah.
Come back. I'm in a dusty climate or something.
or I'd replace I just hey, I'm gonna upgrade the spark plug wires. I don't need to, but I'm going to.
I like this color better.
Were you ever that way about brand new white shoes where you just could not wear them outside?
I never had a thing with shoes, and I don't get the shoe fetish. I know it's huge.
Shoe fetish.
I know. I know it's huge.
It's a fetish. It is.
Yeah.
My brother has more shoes than most ladies.
Yeah. So. And not a weird fetish. I'm talking just a normal, people likes their sneaks, man.
Yeah.
They love their sneakers.
I have 3 pairs.
Yeah. And my
love
son
a
loves
good
sneakers.
fresh pair of shoes. If they last 2 weeks, I'm lucky, especially if they have any white on them, forget it. They're going to be, that interesting tan color, right into almost black.
Newish.
Nobody can even see it but the ends of your soles. That was terrifying. They're what is it?
I don't want to knock over
obviously the bottom looks terrible. Gosh.
Hey, they're newish.
That looks bad.
And they're no longer got white on the fronts. There's some chucks.
I'm you know what? I'm going to mute you. You're done. We're done. We got you.
Fun fact, though, we're talking about shoes. I think I actually have more shoes than the average lady. I think at one point I pulled them all out of the closet because you accumulate
Should we
a lot
be bragging
over
about
time.
this?
Yeah, how many shoes do you wear,
here's the reasoning
though?
behind that. You accumulate over a long period of time. My shoe size hasn't changed much or whatever. Sometimes I'll buy dressier shoes that I don't wear very often. They kind of hold up and are nice. But the majority of them were work boots. And a lot of them were Red Wings, so they're going to hang around for a long time. You don't throw those away when they still hold up that well.
Yeah, I got 3, and 2 of them are boots, and one of them I don't wear that often. So,
all right. Well,
3 of everything.
With that in mind, I need to know from the both of you. I'm going first because I went first the last 2 weeks.
Oh, you might as well. It's your show.
Might as well. I'm just going to hijack the show.
Ladies first. Oh.
It's my stream, and I'll ask if I want to.
That is right. It's my stream, and I'll ask if I want to. And I'll sing terribly if I want to. If you were born with action figure hands, a.k.a. that means they're stuck in the same position.
Yeah.
What position would your hands be in? You know, the hand grenade position.
No, I got mine. I got mine. So the judo,
I don't know.
The judo chop for one.
Okay, judo chop.
And the GI Joe.
The universal, the
universal C cup.
GI Joe.
universal C cup. Hand.
Exactly. Put the gun in it. Come on, put it in there.
You can.
I'm not left-handed. Dang it! I should have switched to the other hand.
You can mediocre hold almost anything. A lightsaber. You know, or you could hold a gun and it would kind of swivel. The gun would kind of swivel a little.
Put your hand on a steering wheel. You know?
I mean, without the use of my hands, shoot me. So one of them is going to have to be in the shape of a finger gun, and I'm going to just walk around just pointing at cops all the time to see what happens.
Finger time.
You would not last long.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, without
this is a
moving
deadly
of my
weapon
fingers, forget it.
Especially if it was frozen like that, you know?
Exactly.
You just poke people.
It doesn't break.
You wouldn't want like.
Can I get a button in my back too that gives me the action?
What do you guys think? What in the comments? Tell me what your hands would look like. Like we did universal C cup, you know, so you could pick things up sort of, or people could put things into your hand, and then judo chop, the judo chop hand. What else is there?
It's for grabbing all those C cups. Yeah.
Oh my Lord!
Assume the proper hand position.
Yeah.
What's this? Well, I'll tell you what, it's certainly not the shocker.
Radio.
What other positions would be? And I'm not even showing. You know,
well, there's the fist.
Universal peace sign, just always
fist.
up there.
Well,
I am ready for bunny ears on every.
There's the
camera
fist
shot.
with the tiny hole. You know that you could, because it's tighter. You can put a gun in it, and it's like holds the pistol better.
I never understood like the.
Forget actually getting your finger around the trigger guard, but hey, as long as it's in that shape, you can still hold the gun.
It still shoots because
there's toys
it fits
that have,
your hand.
Because
right?
you know you're
toys
a GI
that have
Joe.
like this random hand. You know, it's just like it's open.
It's like your serious backhand.
So it's
serious
like,
backhand.
And there's like a hole in it. You can put the gun.
The serious backhand.
Actually, you know what? I would be in the shape of live long and prosper because then I can still Judy chop.
Yeah.
And I can still,
Judy chop.
yeah.
Judy chop.
And I can still probably neck
serious.
pinch. No.
Who's Judy? I've never heard of this.
Oh, you
don't know
never
Judge
heard
Judy?
of the
Judge Judy slap.
Oh, man, what's that guy? He's a ninja. He does the ninja kicks and he does the Judy chops and all that. He was on Jerry Springer a couple times.
Oh Lord. Oh man.
You know this. You know what do you think? Regular can of backy? Nuh-uh, sir. Judy star. Yeah.
I mean, being from Illinois, you'd think I'd watch more Jerry Springer, but
yeah, it's usually by accident. You actually don't sit down and think to myself, "Hey, I'm going to watch a couple hours of Jerry Springer," because
and
of course he's
on.
just repetitive.
It was on. And then we got taken over by his.
It was one of those
security guard.
accidental things. You're sick and you're like flipping through channels, and this was a thing that happened in the past. It doesn't happen anymore.
Could you do this with your hands if you're an action star?
But you'd have to have both hands like that. And now people would accuse you of being, you know, like racist or something. But you're like, no, it's a game. It's a game.
I forgot. This is white power now. I mean, in school is a different thing because, you know, if
it was
you're
like under
looking,
the waist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, punch you. What's up, Zevis?
No, funny story about Jerry Springer, though. When I used to manage a Jiffy Lube,
he was on
every morning when there would be like a
Jiffy Lube,
a slow moment when when we weren't slammed with cars all day.
Cars.
The lounge, we had nothing but regular, local TV, so there was just nothing but garbage channels, and we'd be bored all the time. So what was always on? Lori.
Oh, Lori.
Yeah. So we got to see that morning's lineup of Are You the Father or Not? You know, today we've got 9 guys on stage and just 1 woman. You know, it's like it was always something ridiculous.
Not the father.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo! Oh, and I tell you, they bring out the marching band. I
love the celebrations.
I'm not the father. Woo!
I'm pretty sure there's a compilation on YouTube of celebrations for about being father.
Yeah. You mean you'd have to have something like that. Some of the reactions were ridiculous.
I told you.
I've never seen so many people so happy to escape responsibility, I tell you.
Ooh, I have.
Right? Like, that child looks like me, but it ain't mine. You're the father.
Love is a splendid and wondrous thing.
Okay, son.
You said a lot of things today, but the lie detector test determined that you're just a liar.
You are the liar. All right.
What up, Ford?
Good
How's
old
it going?
morning local television.
Jiffy Lube said I need to change my cabin filter. Again, Mari determined that was a lie.
They said you're due for that expensive synthetic transmission fluid flush that suddenly cost over $200. We determined that was a lie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We determined that was an upsell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which is funny. The owner loved to always tell me that I was not a salesman. I'm not selling anybody anything. I'm making recommendations.
Yep.
And there's so
eyes
many
rolled into
things.
the back of my head on a regular basis in that place.
There's only so many things you guys do there anyway.
Yeah.
So
Y'all do brakes? No. Why?
Hey, can I put new windshield wiper blades on? You did that 3 months ago. Well, I know. But
I just wondered if you want newer ones.
These windshield wiper blades are $10.
Well,
they're
if you
trash,
live in Illinois,
and they only last about 3 months. We really should put some.
If you live in Illinois, you probably have to go.
Oh no!
Twice a year.
We had the expensive, $25 a piece ones that would fall apart in a couple of months and didn't last that long.
There you go. Yeah. You really should get them every 3 months.
Except for the Rain-X Latitudes, those things are just amazing. I can actually out here in this dry climate, I can get like a full year. Oh yeah.
Dang.
I could even tell you the prices of services after a while. I can give you the whole spiel about why you
Why don't you tell us about the time you shot that bird? That was a lot of fun.
You shot a bird?
So when I would close the store down at night, I would have to get my deposit ready. I'd have to, make sure everything was clean. All those, open signs are turned off. Go walk around and see what all the stuff that, all the closing procedures that my employees didn't do, and then have to, write people up accordingly.
And occasionally I come over and hang out.
While doing the whole process of shutting down, you have to go to the back door, and before you leave, there's a, alarm pad. You key in the code, and then you walk out. Well, of course, these are motion detectors that are inside this building, and anything that comes across it, whatever, is going to set the alarm off. And we have it hooked up to the police, so cops show up. I get called. I'm the emergency contact for that, so I get woke up in the middle of the night, something stupid happens. Well, I'm getting ready to leave one day, and there's a finch of some kind of bird flying around in the shop.
Yeah.
And didn't matter how big and wide those doors were open, because as soon as you'd open these 2-story tall garage doors, they would open upward and then block off the rafters above it. So you'd open all 4 doors up where the bird was flying around, and suddenly it was confused and didn't know how to get out around the door. So we tried for a good while to try and chase it out, throw rags at it, get the broom out and swipe at it and look like an idiot, and they're whipping around, chasing the ghosts that weren't there or whatever. And
flip it.
So after a while, I was just like, all right, I'm over this. I can't get this stupid bird out. I know it, some ridiculous hour it's going to fly by and set the alarm off. So drive all the way home, pick up my BB gun, come back to work, and I proceed to sit and shoot my BB gun inside the store for a while until I finally get the stupid bird so I can close up and go home for the night.
But it was entertaining. I was there.
You got to be witness to somebody who's like, a professional manager, somebody who's very nice and, very professional to your face and all that. And he's in the store later on thinking of every swear word he can, sitting there shooting at birds.
I already knew him, so it didn't really... the veil was not lifted for me.
Yeah.
The veil was torn.
But I'll tell you, I didn't see the cat situation. But I'm not going to ask you to tell about the cat one either.
Oh, that's a story for a different time. That's a long one.
Yeah. Story for a different time.
Man, that's a nice place. Good place to hang out.
Man, your cat was caught underneath your vehicle. I don't know if you noticed that. It was up in a skid plate. I just drove 40 minutes from blah, 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 whatever. I was like, we had a rough ride. Oh, wait a second. I don't have a cat.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say.
That was my neighbor's.
Fill in the gaps yourself.
Yeah. That's
people.
Phyllis's
Which brings
cat.
me to this, earth-shattering, ear-bending question.
All right.
Earth-shattering.
Ear-bending.
If you could be any character from a TV show, who would you be?
TV show?
TV show?
A TV show.
You don't want to be Mando?
You don't want to be. Yeah,
that's kind of a gimme go, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'd rather be Baby Yoda. Everybody thinks I'm cute, and I have the Force, and I can just take a nap when I'm done.
And everybody's like desperately trying to protect you.
Do the magic hand.
Because they're afraid of you getting hurt. Yeah, you're the one that always is rescuing them.
Pretty much.
Ironically, you're the one that's always having to come to the rescue. Like, oh, fire be gone. Oh,
And then
Let me
you
just
lifted
get my-
Mudhorn.
Then you
Stop.
lifted some rocks while you stood on your
Yeah.
head.
Well, I don't think he's done his head yet.
Oh,
We'll wait for
Jawas,
that.
go away. I don't know. It's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I think that would be good. And I mean, those are some of the new shows.
You don't want to be Rick. He's a better father than you.
I'd be comic book Rick, but I wouldn't be TV show Rick.
Yeah,
No TV show Rick.
for sure.
Maybe Daryl, maybe. I just would never shower.
I'm trying to think of
I'd be comic book Carl before I'd be TV show Rick.
Oh, ouch.
Yikes.
It's true, though. I would, too.
Trying to think. I definitely wouldn't be Glenn.
Don't pick anybody that has their head bashed in, please.
Yeah, don't pick that.
I mean,
trying to think of shows I watch.
You'd
I
really
wanna
like
be-
metal music at
I
that
wanna
point,
be
right? 'Cause
Ross.
you'd be a real headbanger.
I would be Ross from Friends. Yeah.
I just don't know how
Doesn't
many
make any
shows
sense.
I watch. Trying to think
difficult.
Trying to think of
There's
TV
a billion
shows.
shows out there. It could be anybody.
I know.
I could be that dude from Supernatural.
I'd be the Tiger King, but not get arrested.
Oh, man.
No, I
Actually
wouldn't
get
want to
away
be the
with it.
Tiger King. He is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Just
wouldn't.
straight up crazy weird. Everything about him is weird. And
I wouldn't
and
ask that.
Doc Antilles is weird. They're all weird. That show is the weirdest show I've seen in a long time. It's a train wreck. So I don't
But he
even know
couldn't
why I
look
said
away.
I
that.
mean, I'm like any other rubbernecker who can't look away from a good train wreck, but this one in particular, because everybody else is looking at it, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm going to be hipster about it.
That's usually what
that's
happens.
not cool to me. I wasn't doing it first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't look at train wrecks.
I don't know.
I walk away so I don't turn to salt.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I'm a cool guy. I don't don't look at explosions. So,
I think Mandalorian would probably be, Mandalorian would probably be a great. Mandalorian would probably be awesome. You know what I mean? Just
I want to be American Gladiator. Just pick one. Dun, 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 dun,
I'd be Jon Snow, but I'd end up on the Iron Throne.
Oh,
there you go.
I'd do it right.
Crownful
You
King.
would change it up.
Yeah. I would actually accept all the
Spoilers.
titles people are wanting to throw on
Be
me.
Daenerys, and I would be on the throne, and I would do it right.
Oh.
No.
I'd burn you to the ground. I wouldn't have wasted my time with the North. I would have just gone straight for the throne and
So gone straight for Cersei
Burn
and just ended the whole
everybody.
thing. Yeah, that should be a how it should have ended sketch right there.
I haven't seen that
Oh,
yet.
look, the dragons are big enough I can ride them now. Flies to the King's Landing, kills Cersei. Game of Thrones over.
yeah.
Don't
And
you wanna be
then
like-
after I secured my throne, then I would have gone north and helped, and I would have got there in time. I would, some of the North would have done.
Hey, winter's
but-
coming. You could head up there and warm it up a bit, right?
I mean, Sir Davos is pretty cool. He kind of just
would've-
flies under the radar, or Tormund.
Sort of doubles, yeah.
Yeah, Tormund's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Tormund's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of good characters.
So you want me to?
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll always follow
Apparently
him.
we'd all be
I will always follow.
we'd all be Game of Thrones characters apparently, or Star Wars.
Apparently, our favorite stuff.
Yeah.
What are the hardest things to do casually?
Casually.
The hardest things to do casually.
I know this can go into some bad places. Remember, there are 3-year-olds watching.
Drink water.
Drink water.
Casually.
Sorry.
I actually kind of drink water casually. Just throughout the day, a little bit here, a little bit there.
I mean, I guess for most people these days, if you're forced to drink water, you attack it like you're gonna
For your brother.
like you've been
For
walking
your
across
brother.
the Sahara. Yeah.
I hate when someone's really thirsty and they drink water because you can
Yeah.
hear them drinking it and they're like,
Yeah.
it's like, could you stop
overemphasized
doing the ASMR?
gulps.
Could you
Yeah.
stop with the
Are you a
ASMR?
hamster? What's going on?
I know,
Yeah.
like seriously, just drink it like a normal human being, please.
Just throughout
Stop
the time.
acting like you're from the Sahara and you've been out there for a week. Just drink it like a
Just a
normal
big
person.
old jug, squeezing it.
Some of the hardest things to do casually, I guess shooting at the gun range. It's just really
like,
hard to be casual about it. You got suddenly we all turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger, the commando, and we're just they're attacking. I'm gonna kill them all.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to just be casual when you're shooting a gun.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Those paper silhouettes, man, they're dangerous. Look out.
I was hoping we had some really interesting ones with being casual.
Casual.
Yeah.
Just being casual. I'm just
Hard to
gonna-
do casually.
Try to
it's
drive
hard to be the
casually.
lead singer of a heavy metal band.
Casual.
And be casual.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
That'd be difficult.
I mean, people don't like to. They like to think they do it, but I don't think people drive casually very often.
I do. I like kick it in the middle.
They may think they're driving casually. They're either driving aggressively or passive aggressively, or they're just not paying attention.
I actually lean intentionally to put my head in the center of the car because the
It
center.
does. It's true.
Yeah, the center of the car is actually the best place for your head to be for.
That's how he drives.
Most of the major fights that came up with me and my an ex-significant other was usually getting after me for driving like a grandpa, for being too slow.
Driving like a grandpa.
Yep.
Is that even a saying?
Yeah.
All the grandpas I knew drove
How about,
crazy. Like
Oh.
How about getting
Yeah,
into
which
a-
is funny because I think with a lot of people, they assume they're all Sunday drivers or super slow. They take their corners easy. They're worried they're going to fall over, that kind of thing. Whereas, yeah, most of the older people that I know, it's usually like, are you kidding me? I don't got much time left.
Yeah, my grandfather used to make fun of driving slow.
Yeah.
What about getting into a fight? Could you do that casually?
Yeah, right.
Just a fight?
well, if you call that a fight.
Well, you son of a, I do not take that lightly.
Hey, my mouth is bleeding.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we turn into like Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, what's the deal with this fight?
What is the deal with bar fights? I mean, people are throwing bottles. There's a bunch of injuries happening.
Speaking of bar fights,
Nobody cares about bloodborne
is that your next
pathogens.
we will talk about a bar
Pop music. Talk about.
for story time later today.
Oh, yes.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, because that's the story time.
A warrior
story
walks
coming
into a
up.
bar,
Early
right?
lead-in.
Yeah, warrior walks into a bar. That will be the story. So speaking of the bar, what is the worst thing you've gotten thrown out of a bar for?
I've never been thrown out of a bar.
You've never been thrown out of a bar?
I don't think I've ever been kicked out of a bar.
That's funny. I saw that question the other day, and I didn't pick it because I was thinking to myself, I've never been thrown out of a bar before, so maybe you guys haven't either.
You weren't thrown out of a bar in Rockford with the The lady won't be mentioned.
I wasn't thrown out of a bar per se. I wasn't thrown out of a bar per se, but there was a time.
There was a time
when
I was so broke.
I was. Let's just say there was a time that I was at a bar, and it was when I was dating my current wife, but she was not my wife; she was my girlfriend, and.
Not your other wife, got you.
Yeah. So I had like 20 of them, right? Had a harem.
Other wife.
But
guys
we were dating,
Oh,
and we were at a bar, and so this was like the beginning of our relationship. We were at the bar, and I was kind of acting a fool.
What? You?
I know.
It's crazy.
And I had a little too much to drink. It does happen on a rare occasion to some people when they're young.
I don't know what that's like at all.
Of course, I don't do that anymore, but I did that night, and she was embarrassed by me.
What?
I know.
I've never seen her embarrassed
I know.
once.
So she kicked me out of the bar. Oh. Not the bar. She actually told me I needed to go, to go get out and get into a pickup truck and go sleep in the back of the pickup truck.
Wow.
And it wasn't even her or my pickup truck. It was a friend of hers pickup truck. And so I was like, okay. So it was like 2 a.m. I went in and got in the back of this pickup truck and slept in the back of that pickup truck. I was pretty bad that night. That was a really bad night, and that rarely ever happened back in that day. But that was really
that you can remember being put into a vehicle.
So I did. I left the bar that night, and I went into the back of that truck, slept it off. Kind of. They came out shortly after, got in the truck, and we drove home. And
here's the thing:
it was a good idea because the night started wonderful, and I think it would have not ended as good had I continued to hang out doing the things I was doing. And I was glad that they kind of friendly cut me off. And I think friends, good friends don't let friends continue to...
Friends are friends to the bitter end.
Yeah, and they don't let you continue to go down that path of stupidity. So I
never had those kind of...
Yeah, she loved me, and she was like, no more. And I was like, okay. So she kicked me out, if you want to say that.
I guess I have to take that back then. I've never been kicked out of a bar, but I have been escorted out of a bar.
That's
as in nicely asked to leave because I ended up going out to Chicago one time for a friend's birthday party. I didn't know her from Adam, but he wanted to go out there, and we had to celebrate her birthday, and she had some VIP access deal at this bar. And it was actually in Wrigleyville, so I was like, oh, okay, if we don't have too much of a hangover, we can go to a Cubs game the next day, which we ended up actually doing. And I was incredibly hungover for it. But somewhere throughout the night, after me and birthday girl got done dancing, suddenly me and friend who showed up weren't talking at all, and I don't understand why. Next thing I know, he goes and takes her somewhere else in the bar, and later on throughout the night, as I'm getting too drunk and I'm leaning in a corner and realizing that I'm not really lifting my head up off the bar and kind of just doing this slump over kind of thing, I realize that they're nowhere to be found after a while. And this is the third time a bouncer's coming up and asking if I'm okay. And on the third time, it was hey, man, let me help you to the door. And I was just like, oh, okay, I get it. All right. So I stumble my, pretty stumbling butt out of the door or whatever, and proceed to walk downtown Chicago for a while because I don't know where her place is. We were supposed to crash at.
I know
My buddy left. She left. Everybody ditched me or whatever. So next thing you know, I'm sitting outside the bar on a windowsill, just kind of with my head between my legs going, well, I'm not ready to throw up yet, but I'm certainly not good enough to walk. Long ensuing adventure, but eventually got home. Went to a Cubs game the next day. It was kind of all right, but rough night.
Yeah,
rough night.
The greatest adventure. That's the thing. How are you supposed to remember those nights that you get, kicked or escorted out of a bar when you're probably in a bad position mentally to even remember those situations?
I guess I only remember because the bouncer was very nice. He politely asked me to leave, and I was just like, all right, sounds good.
He knew you weren't belligerent and like,
yeah, true.
Darth
I think this dude's sleeping in the corner or he's about to pass out.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Exactly.
I know who I want to take me home.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
But yeah, I guess I had to take that one back because I'm like, oh, wait, no, I guess I have been asked to leave a bar, but I've never been forcefully drug out or kicked out of a bar before.
I've never been forcefully drug out ever. No. And I rarely ever had a situation where a friend said, hey, let's go. But, when you're young and dumb, there are those couple moments,
Well, I've got two here that are definitely going to be long discussions, I think. One in between that's pretty funny. So we'll start off with a long discussion, then funny, then we'll finish off with a long discussion.
All right.
Who would win in a battle royale? 30 midgets versus one full-grown lion.
See, that was my question last week that I didn't want to use.
You want to use?
Because I was like,
little people? Politically incorrect.
Did you say little people?
Sorry. 30 little people versus one full-grown lion.
Yeah.
So the thing is the lion, because...
And the witch.
Yeah,
and the
because even though those 30 people... there's no weapons or anything. It's just 30, and so the idea is the 30 are going to overtake him, but there's no way. They have no weapons.
But what kind of dwarfism are we talking about? Are we talking about Tyrion Lannister? Or are we talking about Wicket? Warwick Davis.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, they're slightly different
The
body
lion,
shapes.
the lion has claws that are knives.
Doesn't
and
matter. We're going
a
to
mouth.
generalize and stereotype here.
What if it's
that's it.
Funkar?
I can see all the hate mail now.
What if it's Vunkar from
Listen,
Willow? He's
they
the
don't
best
even have to
warrior
be
in the village.
midgets. It could be 30 human beings my size, and if you have no weapons, this lion's going to shred through 30
But
human
if it's
beings.
a male
Here's
lion,
the
they don't do
caveat to that. I
It's a
mean,
male
even
lion,
if you do, even if they were coordinated and organized enough to barrage them all at once, I don't think most of their arms are long enough to reach all the way around to
but that's
strangle
not
it.
true. Look at Warwick Davis. He's got.
Do you think Warwick Davis could strangle out a lion?
I think he
Do you think
could.
he could reach his hands all the way around, make connection, and strangle out over even just a big mane?
He could throw an acorn
Yeah.
and turn him into stone.
Yeah. And look out, because he's a peck with an acorn.
The
pointed at
lion
him.
would just be like swat and the head would roll, and then another swat and another
Can't
head
get
would
away
roll.
with Willow these days. You can't.
Are
even-
you kidding me? With little people, you could take out 2 or 3 at a time.
I know.
Just boom, boom, boom.
It would be. It would actually be something that would be absolutely horrific to watch, and it would be like shoot the lion, hurry, shoot him, Like
It'd be like a train wreck on Netflix.
yeah.
Oh, it'd be terrible because the lion would be so
almost
hungry
be
afterwards.
like Tiger King.
They all have mullets.
Tiger's
and
like,
Fu
thanks for
Manchus.
this. Tiger's like, thanks for the hors d'oeuvre. Where's the main course?
And then Netflix would be like, hey, we're going to make a documentary.
This is
out
on
of this.
TLC. It's a new show called Eating Little People.
No, it's a new show on TLC called Little Meals.
Oh,
It's so messed up.
Meals with
Happy
tiny
hump day,
wheels.
everybody.
Hey.
Yo, Tom Power, what's up?
It is Wednesday already. Man,
It is.
they're all
Hump
running
day.
together in a pack.
all right.
Run away with
is
me.
it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy April Fool's Day, everybody, by the way.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Happy April Fool's Day.
How you guys enjoying the new Galactic Ray and
Yeah.
Kylo?
Galactic Ray.
I want to hear all about it. Not
Ray Skywalker. I unlocked Ray Skywalker in the intro.
Ray Palpatine.
Ray Palpatine Skywalker.
Palpatine Skywalker. That makes sense. Did she marry a Skywalker? No, she just made out
No.
with one. Yeah. And she was a solo. What TV show could you take a college course on and get an A?
What could you take a college course on?
TV show.
Oh, TV show.
Take a college course on, and you're going to get an A automatically. You guarantee
Yeah,
it.
any TV show that you could take a course on and get an A on. A TV show.
I think the show has to be finished at least. If you take a show that's got one season in, it's kind of cheating.
I mean, I would test well on Game of Thrones for sure. I mean, we've watched that enough.
Yeah.
over
I
and
wouldn't
over
get an
again.
A. For me, I would be like, I'd get like a
the
C
names.
plus.
I would-
Back in the
Yeah.
day, way back in the day, it would have totally been Power Rangers.
Go.
Go.
But which version? There's like 1,000 of them.
For me, SpongeBob.
I mean, you could say in general, but I mean, really,
That
we're
show's
talking
been on
about
for
the
a
originals
while.
here. All right, the first movie. Come on now.
I had to watch that so many times when my kids were little. I'd like,
I know, but that show's been on for a while.
I know, and
There's
I've
a
seen
lot
it
of
all
seasons.
a lot.
It's a lot of seasons.
Ooh, Top Shot
That shit.
with Colby Donald.
That's been like
Actually-
4 seasons long.
Actually, I
Five.
feel like I feel like I could do really well with, and I can't even remember the name of the show now because my recall memory is totally jacking with me. But
recall.
the knife making show.
Oh, Forged in
Forged in
Fire.
Fire. I love Forged
Yeah.
in Fire and talking about like Damascus steel and all the different methods, you know, and
welding.
I feel like if I went in there,
Cold
I would-
rolling, water quenching, oil quenching.
yeah, exactly. I feel like if there was a
Forearm
test,
throwing.
yeah, application and mental knowledge are two totally different things. I feel like if I had book test that and they had all these multiple choice questions, I feel like I could just ace that.
Yeah, multiple choice I do
Yeah.
very well with.
But I feel like if they were like, okay, application test now, like you would just be like this, like nasty, like thing, like ting, ting, ting. Like,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
here's the thing.
Here's my knife.
You're
You
kinda
took
like-
a
what
leaf
the-
spring
what
and
is
cut
that?
a knife
You're
out
talking
with a
about
plasma
reality
cutter.
shows.
That's it.
They're
You're
like,
talking
"Well,
about
what
reality
is it?"
shows that are like game shows. So they're already kind of a test. If you were like,
Yeah,
to be
Forged in
on it.
Fire, though, I could answer the questions. I'd get an A because I watched
But what
every
about
single one of
sitcoms
those.
or just regular shows?
And they give a lot of good information. on those
Would
types of
Alex
shows.
Steele's YouTube channel count as a show?
I'm talking about real TV shows that have a plot, have characters.
Yes, it will kill.
Yeah.
Eat.
I'm not talking
Will
about
cut.
reality shows.
It
I'm not talking about
will
talk shows.
It will bend,
I mean,
flex,
Maury
break,
Povich,
and almost
man.
stab me in the eye.
I could totally do a test on Maury Povich. He was
Yeah.
not the father. He was the father. He was not the father.
Yeah.
Father.
I can call it even before the test comes out.
Man, it's so good. No, I'm not talking about those kind of shows. I'm talking about TV shows like Walking Dead, like Supernatural, like
Well-
South Park, those kind of shows.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so I feel like it's not complete, but I feel like The Walking Dead.
It's almost complete.
I mean, I wouldn't.
It should be complete.
The test
should have been.
The test would have to be off of the show,
Right.
not off of
It
the
is.
comics.
It's a TV show.
Yeah, not off the comics, but off the show because I've watched the show. I own the series, and I've watched some of the spin-offs, but I've also watched some of the YouTube shows where people talk about what's going on, what's happening, their
I saw the
theories.
after show for years, and
The after show, the theories, and then like what's coming, like the new show that's coming with the kids, the two season. Stop it. The 2 season limited run that they're doing with the kids that are going to be coming out. It looks really good, actually. It's not the stupid show that they spun off. This is a new 2 season limited show. It looks really good, actually.
I mean, it bears repeating, but Fear the Walking Dead.
That's
yeah,
dumb.
that's the one we just
And then,
need to talk
of course,
about.
the
Those people
show-
have no right to be alive still.
For
I'm sorry.
Rick.
They all died in the first episode.
Rick has his spin-off as well. That looks pretty decent.
is it a movie or
so-
show?
It's a movie.
It's a movie or show on TV or on a theater.
Well, that'll remain to be seen. But it should be a 3-part series.
Yeah, I could probably get an A, even if I didn't watch the last 2 seasons.
It's going to be like 6 hours.
Because I don't get an A+, just an A.
But we'll see. It could evolve. I mean, this whole COVID thing could mess everything up. So
Maybe it'll evolve instead of Walking Dead with zombies. It'll be a virus that is COVID.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, and they just cough on you. You're like,
Oh, how could you?
Oh, my
Rick's
We've
full
decided,
ass
sorry
action.
guys, this virus is just not deadly enough. We need to ramp it up a little bit. Media, help us out here.
Maybe he'll
The
finally lose
Office?
his hand.
Darth Skywalker says The Office.
See, that's a show.
yeah.
Easy,
Well
huh?
done, sir.
Wait,
The problem with
original
that-
or the Carell remake?
Ooh. Are you talking about Ricky Gervais or are you talking about Steve Carell? Mm-hmm. Which one? Or both?
Carell, of course.
Carell. Okay, 25 points
Carell.
for the person that can tell me what show Steve Carell started on. And it's not The Daily Show. Just saying.
What do these points get us?
I don't know, just points. I'll mark them up on the wall.
Well, because a lot of people have never heard of the Dana Carvey show before.
Yeah, I know. That's why, you should have letted somebody say something about it instead of you say it. Because I already told you.
They're not very interactive today. It's looking pretty quiet over there. I don't think anybody would have
All right.
Fine. It was a good one.
SNL.
No. It was not SNL.
That's just his guess, Darth Skywalker. All right, this is a tough one, you
very
guys.
similar.
It's a time delay.
better-
They didn't catch it right away.
You better think this one through. This question you got to think through.
Think.
If you only have 4 teeth in your head,
Wow.
where would they be?
Um,
Well, in your mouth, but I mean, where specifically in your mouth? Where would you have those teeth?
Well, I've only got 4 teeth. People don't know this, but
well, I'd say on one side of my mouth and the back. And I just put all 4 of them back there and just...
all 4 on the top or all 4 on the bottom, because it'd be a little bit more effective.
Both.
2 top, 2 bottom.
That's what I mean. 2
Okay.
top, 2 bottom.
Yeah.
On the one side.
So you could actually chew still.
Yeah, I'd still chew my food. I want that steak. I don't
You'd
care.
have
was
the
too
most
easy.
crooked smile ever.
This
but
was
it'd be
too easy
hilarious.
a question because that's exactly what I would say, and that's what you would say. And you know what?
Common sense dictates.
Yeah.
Just so you know, a dentist would say the same thing, and the reason for that is if you don't have
Dude, I work at a dental
equilibrium,
lab.
if you don't
Yeah.
have the top and the bottom, if you only had them on the top would naturally fall out
Yeah.
because you have to have the bottom and the top hitting each other to cause balance. Otherwise, if you only have them on the top, they fall out, or if you only have them on the bottom, they would fall out.
Yeah.
Well, an
You've gotta
uneven
have them
bite
on
will
top
eventually
and
work
bottom.
your teeth loose too. So
Well, I worked in a
And
dental lab, so it was a really easy question.
yeah, right.
Wow. But if you
course.
had those two, you could have 2 chewing in the back, and you could
Right.
at least chew some food.
I
Well,
already
here's the thing,
cut
though.
off that
You'd probably
side.
want them both stacked on one side like that because you have a better chewing area to work with.
Yeah.
But almost for having an even bite, I would almost wonder if having them spread out, whatever, just 2 top on one each side, 2 bottom
Not a
one
wide
each
enough
side.
surface area to chew with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the
It
thing
at least
is,
would make your mouth close
your
more evenly.
pieces would have to be pretty small. Like if you wanted to eat steak, you have to chop them into small pieces.
You
and
could
shove 'em
always
back
put
there,
dentures
and
on
then
the
go,
other side.
nah.
True.
That's true too. You can have mostly a dentured
Yeah.
mouth, except for the.
I'm
real
just,
teeth
I'm
behind it.
along with you guys. I'm saying that having them all on one side would probably give you a better chewing surface to work with, to actually
Right.
make them usable. Otherwise, it would still give you you'd throw your jaw off and give you all kinds of long-term problems because
First
you're
you
only
gotta
biting
grip
on
the
one side of
steak.
your mouth. But
Then you got to chew the steak.
yeah.
Make sure it's a starter steak.
6 of one, half dozen the other, I guess. Would you rather have an even bite, or would you rather be able to actually bite something?
Yeah.
I'd rather just be able to actually
Chew and swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of soups and liquid diets.
I don't
and all
mind
that,
them,
so.
but I sure would like to have some
What up,
steaks. still.
Dave?
do a heck of a lot more
bacon.
juice.
And I
that's for
hear
sure.
from people who have dentures, it's really hard to chew, like real heavy, like steak or
Yeah.
apples and stuff like that.
It's same thing if you have like that would
So if I
be-
can bite into it and then chew it with something that actually is real,
Yeah,
it's the way to go.
indeed. Is it on to me?
Indubitably.
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 Could be.
Let's see here.
Then
This one
who?
might cause an interesting discussion. I'm always interested to hear your guys' opinions
That's
on this because we got a lot of things that we're similar with and other things that just kind of like left field. What are you talking about?
That depends on the time of the day.
So, which celebrity that apparently everyone thinks is hot, but you disagree about?
That was another one I was going to pick.
This one's pretty easy.
So,
A
and we're
lot of
saying like
people-
who we assume people think. is
Yeah,
hot.
well, a lot of people in the media and stuff really make a huge deal on Lady Gaga being super hot, and I'm just like,
I don't
what
get it.
is the deal with that? She is nasty,
Mm-hmm.
like straight gank, straight gank.
I would poke her face to tell her go away.
Yeah, I would straight poke her face to get away from me too. I'm
outta
like,
here.
the meat hanging on you is not going to help.
Nope.
Even the cats
Sorry.
will not.
She's
come.
an artist. Don't you understand?
Disgusting, and literally you can put makeup on that, and it does not help.
All right. Well, I'm going to go in a different
When you
direction
have
here.
zero
When she's
animal
like-
magnetism, you have to cover
And when
yourself
she's
in
doing
meat.
that
This
whole
doesn't
like,
work.
I'm not wearing makeup today. I'm like, I can tell. Stop it.
I'm going to go in a different
Believe me, we
direction.
know.
Even when makeup though, it does not help. And I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful. It's just the question. I'm just
Airbrushing.
answering it. But
So far, completely
what's
in
the
agreement.
deal?
Palatable.
Yeah.
But what's the deal with that? What's another one?
I'm going to say I have two.
Males too.
I have two, and I don't really have the males because I don't. Yeah, I'm not really thinking that way right now.
yeah.
But
David Schwimmer.
nobody ever. What? anyway, so I'm going to say Julia Roberts or Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. What's up with
Two good
either one of
choices.
those? Yeah. Good.
I
plain.
slightly have found Julia Roberts attractive in some movies and some lights,
Jennifer
but I
Lawrence
still don't
is
understand Gwyneth
attractive.
Paltrow.
She's much more funny in real life than she ever was in a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see why people would see Jennifer Lawrence as attractive, as like the girl next door kind of attractive. or whatever.
Stereotypical type of hot, yeah.
Yeah.
What about guys? That's really hard for us guys.
Oh, I
though.
don't even go there because I can't be objective or
Leonardo
subjective about
DiCaprio
that, but-
now.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I could
No,
understand.
for me,
Charlie
it was
Sheen.
always what's her face in 50 Shades of Grey.
What about Charlie
yeah.
Sheen?
I do not understand her at all. Why do people think that? I mean, why was she even in that movie? This is I
because
don't-
her parents are famous.
Or any of the Sheens for that matter. I don't think any of them are like, they all look kind of like they're coming out of drug
Emilio
rehab.
Estevez.
Or
Well, see, here's the problem with any male celebrity that,
Emilio.
as far as attractiveness, and we don't understand why. It all wipes.
money makes them attractive.
I was to say, money wipes the board
Chris
clean.
Hemsworth. I mean, what is the deal with that
Oh,
guy?
stop it.
Yeah. Hey, that's okay though. Chris Hemsworth loves Chris Hemsworth.
That's true. You know,
But I get that because, you know, some of those guys are actually like, you can tell they're like buff or whatever. So I
Yeah,
get,
you know, if you get somebody
I get why
trained,
they're
yeah.
where they're at.
Matt
Yeah,
Damon.
they're superficial about everything
Matt
from the chin
Damon.
down.
Matt
You know.
Damon.
Matt Damon. I never understood why people
Damon.
find him all that in a bag of
Don't
chips.
get it. Don't get
Or
it.
Marky Mark and his Funky Bunch. I guess I can understand Marky Mark and his
Oh,
Funky Bunch. but-
Adam Driver.
Yeah.
I've heard that he's supposedly a heartthrob now. And I'm like, with
Adam Driver?
with that really weird
Kylo
lumpy
Ren?
face and that gigantic nose, I don't get it.
Kylo
Don't
Ren.
get it.
That make no sense.
Yeah.
I don't.
The guy's got obviously
crooked
bad
mouth.
skin. He's very oily all the time. I just
I hate people.
Pee Wee Herman.
Whoever
What?
found him attractive?
what? Drew, what are you talking about?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Oh, Lord. How about the that one guy from Saturday Night Live that was dating Ariana Grande? That
Davidson. What's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He, he looks like he hasn't
Davidson?
slept in years, and
Yeah.
you know, doesn't see the sun. I don't know what's up with that guy.
He's got one of those mouths. Like, have you ever met those kids that like never wipe their mouth?
Or
they
he's
always
got
have
a-
food or chocolate or something smeared
Like
on it.
in
And they're
the
always
crack
like,
of his
and
mouth.
always in the crevice too. And just like, you know, don't really ever like swallow all the way. There's always like food left over in their teeth. It's just
Yeah.
like that's Davidson to me. I don't
Who's
know.
the one that dated Jennifer Lopez? That was he's a Hispanic singer.
Mark Anthony?
Mark Anthony,
yes.
Yeah.
and he was a heartthrob. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Mark Anthony's gross.
He's no Enrique.
He's
all
no-
right?
he's
no
Enrique.
He's not. He has a good voice,
Yeah, but Enrique's no Enrique.
but he looks a bit like a serial killer to me.
yeah. He's got
Well, he
the-
was in a couple of movies,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I ever
think
told
so.
you you have
He's
the
an
face
actor.
of a serial killer? God, I find that attractive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hot.
You look like you're gonna stab me. You want to go on a date?
Yeah. There's some creep factor about you. I just don't get it, but I can't get enough.
Yeah. There's
All
some
right.
people that are weird looking that's okay. Like, you know, Daniel Craig to some degree, I guess, because he's unique looking. But he's not a really attractive man. And maybe Jeremy Renner, I suppose. He's got a unique look to him, but he's kind
Yeah,
of like...
unique
what?
look.
I don't
A
know.
unique look.
I guess. I mean, I don't... Guys.
Well, it's the same. It's in the same likeness. When I say a guy has a unique look, it's like me calling a woman handsome.
It's like Star Trek.
Yeah, like every heartthrob on Star Trek. Oh, a lot of handsome women in here today.
Davidson also dated Kate Beckinsale. See, and I don't
Yeah,
get that.
please don't
because
remind
Kate-
me of that. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
'Cause
And
Kate's
Kate,
attractive.
I held you in such high regard until that happened.
I know. Because
I mean, it was short-lived,
she was
very
She
short-lived.
was a vampire.
And he's a douchebag, and so he ruins every good thing he ever had.
guess I
But
wish
he's had
I
a lot of
was-
good things.
I guess
It's one
I
of my
wish I
favorite
was,
movies, by the way.
I was perceived as funny.
One of my favorite movies.
All three of them?
Underworld?
yes.
Oh.
Okay.
All 6 of them.
There's 6 of them? What?
You guys, stop this.
I saw the first one in the theater.
And there was
like one of 5 people there.
Some of them are bad, but I'm just like, you know what? I don't even
people.
care. I like them all. So
Yeah.
Well, I think I liked him because of Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale in leather is pretty awesome. It's kind of like Total Recall. I hated that remake, except for Kate Beckinsale.
That second one when she slept with Scott Stapp, that was definitely interesting.
my favorite was the third because it was back in medieval times.
And it was 3D.
Well, they went back in time to tell the original story of how everything became.
We can't have continuity, so we have to go back in time to tell the story differently so that it makes sense now.
Yeah,
well,
somewhat.
Actually, it did actually connect all the dots. And the thing is they got to tell the story of the werewolves' origin.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the best part because
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it really got to tell the werewolves'
And
origins.
what's it? Nighy, the actor, is it Bill Nighy?
Oh, Bill Nighy, yeah.
Yeah, Bill Nighy, definitely great in that movie too.
Oh,
it was
terrific.
interesting to see that he could do a serious role the whole time. I'm sitting there going like, when are you going to crack a joke?
My problem was Kate Beckinsale's dentures for most of that movie. Just really hard time talking through them until like the next movies after that. I think they CGI'd them.
Yes, that's right.
But-
they were all very toothy in that film. But hey,
The first one.
I got over it.
First one, very, very overbitey. But yeah.
very overbitey.
But again, leather outfits.
Yeah, leather outfits. Leather straps. Wooden hats.
Until Michael died, and I was angry.
Yeah.
I was angry.
I guess it's my turd now, huh? If
it
you
yours?
could live anyone's life in their body, who would it be?
Yuck.
I mean, off the bat, I guess I could say Pete Davidson because I'd do it better than he does.
But I wanted to live it a couple of years ago, not right now.
Yeah, definitely not right now. And way before weirdo bleach blonde hair.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one because you would not only inherit all of the things they have that are awesome, you'd inherit all their problems.
Yeah.
And I don't
First
know
world
if I
problems.
want to sign up for any of that.
Yeah, I guess pre-recent divorce, Johnny Depp would have been a good one.
For a minute there,
Just for a minute.
like a good 10 years, I would have enjoyed being
So
Johnny Depp.
I would want to like
20.
jump into like Jim Carrey's life, but
Not anymore.
But not not now. Yeah.
Ooh, here's another one that's good for both this question and the question before about, why,
if I could salvage
about
his
why
life
do
from
people
10
find
years
him
ago or
attractive?
something.
Jason Momoa. I don't understand. I want to walk in his shoes for a little while, just kind of look at everybody weird, like, why this?
Throw
Really?
axes,
You think
drink a
is
lot of
that
Guinness?
amazing? I don't.
Lisa Bonet.
Andrew said Ron Jeremy. Oh, but you'd have to look at yourself in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Is there a perfect storm of STDs that somehow makes you live longer as opposed to killing you off
How about
early?
Norman Reedus? He seems to have a good time and never has to shower. And nobody seems to bother him.
Yeah, nobody seems to matter. Yeah, it doesn't
Nobody
matter just
cares.
how oily that dude is.
never showers and it doesn't matter. He doesn't have a beard. It doesn't matter. He's just somehow attractive to people. Whatever. And he's cool. He rides a motorcycle, has his own show with his friends.
I guess for another one for like life I'd like to live, again, pre-divorce, Brad Pitt. And heck, maybe even now after it, because he seems to have weathered it a lot better than Angelina Jolie, that's for sure.
Yeah, but we don't know what he's doing. He's not like in a committed relationship.
Yeah, but he's got a bunch of adopted children with her, and I mean, does he even really see his children? And if he does, I mean,
and mostly just for the interesting factor, not because I just automatically assume their life is so much better than mine, just more along the lines of, okay, what is behind all the hype? Who are you really behind closed doors?
I want to be Jan Engeland.
Yeah.
When there's war and all is hell.
Yeah. Send in
Jan
Jan
England. If you don't know what we're talking about,
Look up
YouTube
Gilbis.
Jan England.
He's the United Nations superhero man.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a great. I mean, he gets to look at maps with George Clooney.
The Clune.
The Clune.
Yeah.
Oh man, no,
hilarious.
there's a guy.
The Clune who is,
There's
let's
a
be honest, a
guy.
little bit of a loon.
I would probably want to see what his life's all about. Is George Clooney?
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to switch with anybody, honestly.
Like,
because-
okay,
you
obviously
have
they
to.
think so in the media, but does
That's a
anybody really
nightmare.
think George Clooney is actually intelligent? Let's find out for real.
Just saying, you live that life. Everybody thinks all these things already, and you're just
Yeah.
kind of like, whatever. I'm just having fun.
So many celebrities probably sitting there going like, man, I love the assumptions about me. I wish I was half of what they actually assume I am.
Right, exactly. Male gigolo. I don't know.
No.
If you could.
Interesting
If you
question.
could.
Interesting question. I like it.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it too. It's very
that's
thought provoking.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It provoked my thoughts.
Last round of questions, and then we go to story time.
And then we'd all run away.
Then we go to a bar for story time.
Yeah, then we get kicked out of the
See if
bar
we can
after
get kicked
story
out.
time.
Yeah.
I didn't get kicked out of the bar for this.
Or
story
politely
time.
asked to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't get kicked out of this bar for story
For this
time.
story, yeah.
I was actually a cop during the story time. And some
You were
of
doing
the
the kicking.
viewers may have heard this story from story time.
Some of the viewers, one with your last name, probably.
Yeah. Yep, probably. Actually, some of them may have heard. I have no idea if I've told this story. Honestly, I've told so many stories. I have no idea how many. I have no idea.
Repeat.
I could totally be having like an Alzheimer's moment. We'll see. I guess everybody will tell me if it's a story they've heard before.
Alzheimer's.
I used to think that Alzheimer's was actually old timers disease.
Yeah, old timers.
When
Because
I
they're
was
all
younger,
old
I didn't hear it
timers.
correctly.
Yeah,
I
Alzheimer's.
literally thought it was old timers. I'm like, well, that makes sense.
Some Simers, Alzheimer's, whatever Simers.
Alzheimer's. Okay. If you could play only one video game for the rest of your life,
This is easy.
which would it be?
I'm already doing it.
Which would it be?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
I think it's going to wear my Xbox 360 into the ground. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll play Grand Theft Auto 5 forever, probably.
I'd play Skyrim Online. The one that's currently out, the Skyrim that's online.
Yeah, it's current.
It's a never-ending
because
online
I
game.
have been playing Fallout 4 for forever. I mean, since it came out.
It takes a while.
And I've just taken off in small
Baker, good
bites.
job.
But I think Half-Life 2, actually. I think I've literally played that all the way through like 8 times. That's one of the only games I've ever actually wanted to play through that many times.
Is that it if you only had one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could only play one
And it's
video game.
been so
for
long
sure.
since I've played it, I'd probably enjoy it again, and I played another 8 times all the way through.
I want to know if somebody's going to want to play like Tecmo Bowl the rest of their life.
They're like, solitaire.
I'm Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
I'm Bo Jackson.
It's so broken.
Oh man, it's good stuff.
Oh, look at that.
And then you pull
Darth Skywalker, Skyrim.
And then you pull out the
Control
Kia
Boba.
SUV, and then you'd start driving around the field, and everyone what the heck? Oh,
Yeah, dude, I would do Skyrim, but I wouldn't pick just Skyrim because Skyrim's fun and you can mod it. But I would actually do Skyrim online, and the reason for that is they're always uploading new maps and new things.
Yeah.
And so it would never end.
Yeah.
Skyrim
I suppose
When
Grand Theft
Hackman's
Auto
on
Online
DLC.
is probably better than regular Grand Theft Auto. I just haven't been playing.
Skyrim online would never end. You can intermingle with other people. You can play with your friends,
There's
family,
still
whatever.
updates, so
And it will never
It's
end.
like 5 years old or 10 years old with updates. It's
Yeah, Skyrim Online's 2 years old, and they just did
2
a
years.
new map update.
Just
Just
wait
like
after this 2 years.
within
'Cause
the last month.
most technology is only 2 years good, and then
yeah.
How was that again?
Well, see, I guess my game is a bad choice because as much as I loved it, it's always a disappointment because when they did Half-Life 2, they started doing episodes to make up Half-Life 3, and then they only gave us 2 episodes, and then somebody leaked information about the third one, and now never again will we
If they
ever
get
see a Half-Life 2 episode 3
if they
to
get
finish
that
the story
everywhere
off.
game figured out for Rocksteady or whatever it is.
Rockstar? Yeah.
Rocksteady.
Yeah, Rockstar has this idea that they were going to do like an everywhere game, which is kind of like Ready Player One, only you can go to the bathroom.
While you're standing there playing
In the game, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be one of those
I
kind of
feel better.
games. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that is, but I don't know if it's ever going to happen. It's one of those rumors like from 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's nice to know what they would like to do, but what can they actually pull off?
They just keep throwing new stuff. That's a new car. That's a new car. If they let me get into some of those buildings, I would
wanna
never stop playing that game.
I want to play that game. I actually do want to start playing that game.
Which one?
The game you play.
Oh, Grand Theft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just never played it, but like every
The
time I
online
play it,
version I hear is
well,
crazier.
so every time I've ever played it, someone's like, "Hey, you want to play it?" I'm like, "Sure." And I like jump into it, and I'm like walking around, and I'm like,
I don't know what's going on.
"Run that person over!" And
Yeah.
then the cops come and arrest me. I'm like, "Oh, that sucks."
Yeah, you got to
You're
learn
right.
all the tricks about
Dang
running
it,
away from
that's
the cops.
dumb.
I could show you
I get
all the
arrested,
tricks.
or I get in a shooting battle with a cop or something, and I'm like, "This is dumb." They just arrest you for doing the fun stuff you want to do.
It's not true. You can get away.
Ah,
I've
It takes
I've got to
talent.
learn this.
It takes
magic.
practice.
I've gotten
Yeah.
to 5 stars numerous times to the point where I'm like, how many times can I go back and forth?
I've got to learn this magic.
Yeah.
I don't
You
like
have to
being
channel
in
your
trouble.
inner criminal mastermind / thug.
I don't. I
The
don't
only
think
thing I
like
don't
a
like
criminal.
is
I'm
when
like I'm like an ex-cop. So I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Take me to jail.
Right.
It's the only game that you can
I know this is
murder.
completely illegal. I'm cool for it. Just don't shoot me. All
It's
right.
the only game you can murder cops and get away with it and actually have some fun doing it at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, which is really rough. I mean, they come in helicopters. You're like, oh, I got the helicopter pilot, got the helicopter pilot, got the helicopter pilot. Jump! Get to my garage. Get in my car.
Pick out something ridiculous, go drive around and kill a bunch of
You
pedestrians.
got to watch me do it for like an hour and you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, and it's
I'd have to
it's
watch.
incredibly fun also to play it when everything's completely unlocked and you
Yeah.
have like $400 million
Game is
to
over
work with
at
and you
this
can buy
time.
whatever you want
Yeah.
to. The online version, you have to build all that up a separate, different way, so it's not as
But
fun.
you have
But
your
the
own
actual,
servers,
you know,
and you
campaign
can
version.
get in buildings. You can actually go on. You can actually go and do heists with other people in the online version. You have your own apartment. It's crazy. I mean, the
Yeah,
houses are
if they
pretty
could make a new version of the game that's just the online version without having to deal with online people, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's the people, man. They're
Yeah.
like Soylent Green.
That's-
I
supposed to be the
there 'cause
fun part.
Yeah, I have to be careful because I'm trying making fun of a ton of 12 to 14-year-olds, but
Hey, No, I don't like the online version because of some of the games that they played originally. But I hear that it's gotten more expanded. But I think more expanded it gets.
Wouldn't it be cool if they could like lock in
weirdos are in
the age range that you wanted to like
Play with?
Yeah,
Prince of Persia, huh? Not the Jake Gyllenhaal Prince of Persia.
that'd be cool.
He could jump. I wish you could do that with the game with the Grand Theft Auto character. Just gonna go up this building real quick.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. Leap from
Get away
side
from
to
those
side.
cops pretty easily. Parkour! Instead of oh crap!
I'm gonna jump 2 stories off this building and land on you.
There's a couple. You can probably go 2 stories and not die.
Too many cheaters on PC though. That's true.
Oh, for Grand Theft Auto? Yeah, well, because they're all modding, and I don't think they do a good job of actually policing that, do they?
They don't. They don't. I hear that they do have an issue with PC.
I don't like the fact that I got to pay $60 a year to play a game that I already paid $60 for, and then I had to pay $20 for a DLC in order to play online, and then I had to pay for another DLC, and then I had
a lot of reasons why you don't like the online version. But if they combine some of the stuff that they've unlocked and done on the online version onto the original version, like I can go in a few more buildings, I'd be a lot happier person.
I picked Fallout 4 up again. I've owned it for years. Played through it.
Picked it up. And you're like, huh.
Yep.
Put
it back in, and I'm like a level 30, I think, on this playthrough. I can't remember. I think I'm a level 30, and I just Brotherhood of Steel. They took me up into the spaceship,
Damascus,
and the first thing they have you do is you go and you have to kill that behemoth on that island. That's like one of the first things. They get in the bird, and you have to go over there and kill the behemoth and clear that. That's like
the Pride Win or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the Pyrrhwin or what the Pyrrhwin. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at, which is kind of like I don't know. It's
End-ish,
kind of it's mid-game-ish, sort of.
Depending if you're doing all the side missions. If you're just doing a straight playthrough, that's probably towards the end.
Yeah, kind of. But I mean, for them, kind of. But
it's kind of thought-provoking, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm at like level 30, and I'm enjoying that game, and so I have a lot of side missions still.
And not the most fun game to watch. I'll admit that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't enjoy watching it very much.
My girls are always like, well, I like when you play this game.
Yeah.
That's my impression.
Yeah, it sounds just like both of them, actually.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, shut up.
I like watching this.
No, they do. They sit down.
Michael Jackson?
They like it so much. This is how it goes. I sit down and I play, and this is them.
Exactly. That's why they like watching, because you're staring at a screen doing like 5,000 things. They can stare at their
I'm like,
screen.
Boy, they really enjoy
They can
watching
look up.
me play.
That's
After
not
an hour of
entertaining
doing
enough for
whatever
all
they're
my
doing on their
attention.
phone.
This isn't entertaining enough for all my attention, but I can split between
You
the
know
two
what I
of
mean?
them.
They can go on their phone for an hour, look up, and you're still doing the same thing you were doing an hour ago. And that's why they can enjoy it. I don't have that luxury.
Andrew wants to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which
Well, you can probably play that.
I don't even actually. I might own that game. I own like 20 games on my Xbox One that I didn't even buy. My son used to use my Xbox, and he downloaded a bunch of games onto it, and then he eventually got his own
Play with
Xbox.
him, Andrew. Just play with him.
Yeah.
He's probably still playing it right now.
I'm like, pew, pew, pew. I don't even know. I got a bunch of games on there. I should look and see.
Pew, pew, pew.
Now, when nobody's around, just play with
You know
yourself.
why? I didn't have time to play my Xbox because I was playing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes for 6 hours a day, 2 accounts. Now I'm not doing that, so I've got time to go explore.
So are we done with that question?
Explore.
Have we?
I think
we've
question.
officially beat it to death.
Yeah, we beat
but
it.
I like it. It was good. Good discussion.
So no Tetris, huh? No Tetris?
No
for the rest of your
Tetris.
life?
Nobody.
Solitaire.
Solitaire. Video games, solitaire.
A deck of cards.
Click.
Music was the best part.
Sudoku?
Of Tetris, for sure. So, anyways, to wrap this all up,
Minesweeper.
if there was stats available for every aspect of your life, what one stat would you want to see?
Man, that's... Okay, so...
I'll give you some food for thought. I want to know how much money I've earned in my lifetime.
I don't.
I'd be sickened, I'm sure,
Don't care.
but I'd just be curious. How much money have I wasted
How
in my
many
life?
souls have I impacted?
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I'd want to have like a generosity bar and like a humility bar. That would be really low, of course, sadly.
Well, that's all your stuff. I'm talking about for other people, like stats that I've affected
But
other
like
people.
a generosity, I would want stats to show me like how I impacted things for the good, not necessarily for the negative. I wouldn't care about the money aspect.
I gave you some food for thought, and I throw me under the bus. Thanks, Goody Two Shoes.
No,
No, to the wall.
no, because that's an interesting stat.
Right.
That is a really interesting stat.
Well, I don't think anybody's ever really thought about it. I mean, like over your lifetime, you think,
Well,
I
you
only
can-
make $20,000 a year, or whatever. Okay,
you're-
yeah, but how long have you been alive? How long have you been making money? How much money have you actually made over your lifetime?
But some
Everybody
people
will make
write-
$1 million probably, and I
people
know
write
everyone
books
out there's
about
like
that.
this. That's bullcrap. But if you're an American,
I would say from a lot of people more.
yeah, if you're an American and you live 80 years, you will absorb well over $1 million in your lifetime. Well over.
Especially this day
If
and
you're an
age with
American,
inflation.
it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts if you start.
People keep books of their finances. I mean,
Yep.
they used to at least.
Ray Rock, that's the other one I was going to go with, is how many people I've actually met in my life. How many people I'm acquainted with.
Acquaintance.
That's really cool.
Facebook.
I was thinking like as a character, you know, when you go up level, you have like those bars like charisma and character and like all those different things. I was thinking more like that, like humility bar.
Is there a limit? How far does your bar go?
I guess for me, it would just be like seeing over everybody's, like how I'm impacting them in certain like different categories. I've impacted you a
Like
lot.
my humor
So
bar.
you instantly wonder what your popularity is.
I'd
No,
want
just
my
wanna know
humor
what I'm
bar to
doing
be
with
like,
them,
out of 1 out of 10, I'd
personality-wise.
want my humor bar to be like around 8.
like,
I mean,
oh, they
you know,
really think I'm funny.
it doesn't have to be all the way at the
know?
top.
Right.
I'd want it to be like higher than it is now.
See,
Like,
we can't all be Bill Murrays, but we'd certainly like to get
Right.
close.
Certain people might have a higher like laughter scale with you than others. Some people might have a higher, love scale with you. Some people might have a higher endurance scale.
Oh, yeah, and I guess that would be an interesting aspect, too, is seeing what other people's perception of you was.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more of just kind of figuring out like how we interact and just being better because people aren't very honest, unfortunately. They should just be straight up honest with you, but they're not. So you're just like, oh, I can see that we need to work on this together. Like you can just see it. You go, we know we need to work on this, so let's do that.
so read the question again.
If there were stats available for every aspect of your life,
Stats.
the one that you would want to see.
Now stats.
The one.
The stats. The one.
Stat.
The one. The one.
Darth Skywalker, if I took 2 seconds to think about that, I wouldn't leave the house.
I guess.
How many hours I volunteered doing things for other people other than myself.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Not
Yeah.
to not do things for myself, because I do things for myself obviously every day. But,
Right.
but how many hours of my life I spent doing for others?
How about how many times did I genuinely care enough to do something for somebody else? Like, oh, that's a lot of times I actually genuinely cared about another human being.
Yeah. How much of my time have I given up for somebody else?
Yeah, because I mean, right before you die, that would make you feel good. You'd be like, okay,
20 minutes.
I can
What?
die and I feel a little better about my death. Like, all right.
Right. How many hours?
Because even in my line of work, I do lots of stuff that's not my time that I give away to somebody else. So I think that number might surprise the crap out of me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
How much paper have I wasted?
How many times have I actually
toilet
kicked a coffee table and stubbed my big toe?
How much toilet paper have I used in my
How many
life?
times did I have to fold it over a second time? How many times did the finger go through the toilet paper
How many-
because
how
I didn't
many-
use good toilet paper?
How many times?
How much time have I actually spent sitting on the john?
How many
How many
times?
times did you not wash your hands after peeing?
Oh no.
Doesn't happen in prison.
How many? How many times did people actually smell my fart and then tell me?
Darth Skywalker has a good one, religious answer. How many times did God's hand have an influence in his life?
Yeah.
Actually, to know that, though, that would be pretty awesome.
I was trying to think about something like that, but I didn't.
How old were you when you died? That number.
Right.
Yeah, 80.
Every single
times.
aspect of your life. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I kind of wanted like to know like the stories instead of
How many
times.
successes in your life you had that to actually see the counter, though? Like,
Oh, well then-
9 million successes. You're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, to
really?
go with
That
the
many
same
successes?
to
You're
stay
like,
on the same vein of religious ideas is how many times did I actually nail the mark for God's perfect will?
Oh yeah, perfect will mark.
and you're like, oh wow, I missed
Yeah.
it a lot.
Wow. What a
How many
failure.
times did my failure lead to success?
Oh yeah.
Well, then it wouldn't be a failure.
But you failed to succeed. You did something bad.
Yeah.
and you learned from
Your
it.
perception was that you failed, and then it actually was succeeding.
Yeah, you became a success through that failure.
That can take you on a whole different thought plane.
Aluminium. Anyway.
Where's left field? It's way back there.
All right, so this is the last one. We're going to march in place.
Last
after this.
question, and then we'll go to story time.
All right, you've got a half hour. Do it now.
Time first.
If you were
you
in
go
an
first.
open field with an aluminium bat, baseball bat.
Okay,
How
so
many-
it's a European bat. Gotcha. All right.
Aluminium. I just can't say it otherwise. So
I play baseball with aluminum bats. But
Okay,
that's
so
just me.
aluminum baseball bat. Where you at? And how many 10-year-olds with bike helmets could you take down before they got you? I know this is like the best question ever. I want to save it for last.
Oh, how many times in my life have I thought of something similar to this?
This is terrible, dude. 10-year-olds with bike helmets.
Bike helmet.
And you have an aluminum bat?
How many
That's
times
a
you got to take
horrible
them down
question.
before you?
That's a horrible, horrible
Well,
question.
for one, I'm not aiming for the head.
But they could ring their bell and wouldn't kill them.
You could ring my bell. Ring my bell. My bell.
All of them. I'd ring them all.
Grande
Every single
Vargas
one.
is 69. 69 children he would take out before he was overcome. And how fast are they coming? I mean, one
Yeah,
at
are
a
they all on the
time?
bikes, or are they just showing up with their bike helmets on?
Are they just
that's kinda
surrounding
weird.
you
What's the context of that? Why you got your bike helmet?
I don't have the answers to those questions.
Some of these
but
kids have pegs on their bikes. I mean, that's kind of like
you
know,
are in an open field after all.
in an open field.
Open field, so I guess could be
messed up.
a bunch of them could come at you from different angles, I suppose.
Right.
But
Well, and is this a movie version where they all attack you at once? Because I mean, obviously, if they barrage you all at once, you know, then
it'll be kind of hard. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to do some
one
kind
at
of-
a time. One
Have
at a
to
time. It'd be a
helicopter.
matter of stamina.
Yeah, you'll have to do your best Neo impersonation,
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
You know,
How many Agent Smiths am I going to attack here? All right.
10-year-old Agent Smiths with bicycle helmets, and you got a
All I
little
know is
bit
it'll take me a while to stop laughing after all the bink, 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 bink.
Darth Skywalker has a great answer. One for fun, and then I'd feel bad and stop.
All right.
He's like, first hit, you hear a crack and a break, and he's like,
Oh, I think I just broke his arm.
you're like, oh.
And I'm instantly a horrible
Okay,
person.
here's the thing: if they were all 10-year-old girls, I just would give up. I couldn't hit any
Yeah.
of them with the
Ching,
baseball
ching,
bat.
drop the bat.
Yeah. Sorry, equality. It doesn't work that way.
But what if it's like that Russian kid who's 10 years old? He's like,
A Russian.
he's like 200 pounds and 6 foot, and he's like MMA fighter, and he's only 10 years old, and you're like,
going into that thought pattern.
and you're like, he is not 10 years old, and they're like,
kid, I swear.
is he Robin Williams
he
from
is
that
10
one
years
movie?
old,
this child is 10 years old on steroids.
and you're like, no way, and you're like, they're like, he's 10
must-
years old.
He's only
Thank
one
you.
world's strongest man once. I mean,
He's like 5'10", 170, 5'10", 170, 10 years old, almost 11,
It's
but
totally ripped
technically
up.
10.
well, he ain't gonna run very fast. Maybe.
Went through puberty early. He's almost 11.
Mustache, got a beard.
And he's the guy you got to fight. And there's just a ton of them coming. I mean,
good grief, that kid's not 10. Yes, I am.
yeah.
Oh my god! I would actually want to hit them with a baseball bat. If they were
So,
that kind
so
of
the
10-year-old.
answer's technical. How many
Yeah.
could you take out? I'd probably, I mean, before you get physically tired swinging a bat, because you do get tired
with a
swinging
lot
a
of
bat.
questions like that. Stamina is always the issue.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of bat? I mean, is this a really big bat?
It's an aluminum bat, and that tells
some
you
light
wood
ones.
is harder to swing than aluminum over time. I used to play baseball for 8 years. I would say that I could swing that bat. Hitting each hit would just
They both
One
have
hit
their
would take a
downfalls.
child out.
They both have their downfalls. The wooden bat would hold up longer and crack more skulls, but if you hit it in the sweet spot, you're breaking that bat, you're done.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's useless. With an aluminum bat, you can take out quite a few, but it is hollow. It eventually will bend. It'll eventually become pretty much useless, but it won't break to the point where you don't at least have some kind of a
Assuming that
stick to
doesn't
beat with.
happen, I'd probably get through 35 to 40 of them before I'd just become exhausted.
And aluminum bats are lighter, so you can swing them longer than a
Is
wooden
this
bat.
you after
40.
you've been working on a fence all day, or is this you in your prime?
That's me right now.
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying. Is this you?
yeah,
that's
that's
been
me
working
right
on a
now.
fence
I could
all
probably
week?
take out 40 children.
I could probably
right
do
now.
like 10. I don't even care anymore.
Well, yeah, I guess if you could take my conscience out of the equation, probably more than I'd like to think about.
40.
400.
If I was in my prime, I could probably knock out 100. Right? If I
Back
was in
them
my
out
prime,
of the ballpark.
because I'd have massive endurance. But right now, 35, 40 at best before I'm just exhausted.
Do I want to feel bad about hitting kids, or do I
my
want to
shoulder
sock a
would be
few
exhausted.
dingers?
Yeah, my
I didn't
shoulder.
say anything about feeling bad about it.
Yeah,
Just how
true.
many?
Yeah, I think with a lot of these questions, you have to take your conscience out of the equation.
Yeah, it's a theoretical question. Terrible,
Terrible question.
Terrible.
I think I can get through maybe 50.
Nobody, well,
Maybe 50,
most people
10-year-olds.
really aren't that terrible, but
Yeah. maybe 50. If I was a better fighter, like
Except for the
Neo,
viewers, some of them are like, I would take out so many, and they're typing.
I mean, if I
Yeah,
knew
right.
martial arts,
Grande Vargas, a terrible human.
Yeah, how many guys typed their answer and halfway through went, and backspace?
He's like,
backspace,
I would kill a lot of
backspace."
kids.
Didn't say anything about you have to take them out. Maybe you're gonna
Yeah,
take
maybe
them
we
out. to
don't
dinner.
want to know that much about the
You know?
viewership.
Okay, so we were
Take down.
talking earlier. By the way, happy April 1st to everybody. Thanks for
Happy April 1st, you fools.
Happy April 1st, you fools. April Fool's Day, obviously, I am not getting Rey Skywalker or Super
Natural.
Kylo Ren.
Supreme leader, dope master, flex. Yeah.
Definitely not.
TJ Kylo.
DJ Kylo Ren.
Just so I'm gonna throw this lightsaber.
And for today's story time, we're going to do a story that comes out of a bar. We actually talked about the bar a little bit earlier today. And I may have kind of off the cuff mentioned this story, but I don't believe I've actually told the whole story. So I kind of wanted to go back and just tell the story. It's kind of a faster story, but I thought it was pretty
Taco
funny.
Supreme. Beef Supreme,
Yeah.
Kylo.
So when I was in law enforcement, this was kind of came out of the first year of law enforcement. And when you're in law enforcement, especially that first year, you're in a thing called FTO. FTO is Field Training Officer. It's field training. Field training is basically you're a cop, but you're not trusted yet, and you've got to go with a FTO, a field training officer. Those individuals are fully trained officers who go with you, and basically they oversee you for different phases of training to make sure that while you're out there being a cop, you don't accidentally do something that would totally get everybody in trouble, because you technically know what to do as a cop, but you don't really have any street smarts.
You're trained to know what to do.
Yeah,
Street
you're
cred.
trained what to do. You know how to drive, you know how to shoot, you know the law. You've been through the academy, and so you're book smart, you're just not street smart. And so every law enforcement has a different kind of like FTO program. And so you go through this. Some of them are 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Some of them are 2 years. I mean, every department's different. But ours was about 4 to 6 months. It depended on the individual. Mine was about 4 months long. And I was in this FTO program, and I had a trainer, really, really funny guy. And his first name was Jeff. And Jeff, it was summertime.
We'll say his name was Jeff.
Yeah, actually,
more like
and
Jeff
actually, it
Green.
wasn't even summertime. It was springtime. It was like April-ish at this time.
That's spring.
Yeah,
spring.
it's springtime, but it was April-ish, and so you know how it is when it starts to warm up, because we're hitting April right now, April 1st.
It's warming up.
Yeah, and this was 2000.
More like April hit us like a truck, but you know.
Yeah, this was 2009, so this was basically 11 years ago.
Let's go to 11.
Yeah. And so this was 11 years ago. And so there was, it was like starting to warm up, sunny days. And of course it was FTO, and he was like, I'm going to wear shorts. You want to wear shorts? I was like, sure. So I put these shorts on. So yeah, we look kind of like bike cops.
I love that show. Pacific Blue is great.
Yeah. And we had different stuff that we could wear, and we had different outfits. Right. And so this outfit was shorts, kind of short shorts almost.
Yeah, imagine
you
so.
have to be athletic, right? You gotta run.
And I was we were
They
athletic.
accommodate everything.
And so they're cargo shorts. And then the shirts they actually give you are polo shirts, but they're like really lightweight polo
More
shirts.
breathable.
Yeah, breathable polo shirts. And they don't let you wear your like real badge and all of that because it's too heavy for the material.
Exactly.
So they have a sew-on badge and a sew-on patch and all of that. But it's all real legit stuff. I mean, it's a real outfit and everything, but it's just for the summer, like summertime.
Oh
we
yeah,
wear
good
lighter.
point, Grande Varga. Hang out with Officer Dangle, do some new boot goofing.
Yeah, it looks a bit like Dangle, Officer Dangle. But anyway, so it's April, and he's like, I'm going to wear the lighter weight stuff because it's like we're chomping at the bit to like wear the lighter weight stuff because it's been winter time and we're all like ready to be done with like the winter attire. And we've been wearing like undergear and everything. And we just want to like, get down to the lighter weight stuff because we're just chomping at the bit to be
Slim it down a bit,
summertime. Yeah. So anyway, I know I'm talking way too much about what we're wearing, but we're down to shorts and these like polo shirts and these like combat boots. And so we look,
Officer Horse.
yeah, we look really, really like, I don't know.
Grande Varga wishes there were some pics.
Yeah, any pics.
No. Right?
Well, you can. Yeah,
Just pics.
there are pictures for sure. I don't have them here on this, but so I'm in FTO. We're going around, and he goes, one of the things you're going to have to do a lot of are bar checks. And I'd done a number of bar checks before, but not with Jeff. And Jeff says, he said, you're gonna have to do a bar check. So he's like, why don't we do a bar check? And I'm like, oh, okay. So we pull over, we park, and we get out and we go into this bar, and the bar is packed. Now, the problem with this particular bar is it was very narrow, and my brother Drew knows this bar.
He hangs out there a lot.
It's on Main Street, and it's on 6th and Main on the south side. He'll know exactly which bar. It's real narrow, and it's real deep, real deep. And there's a huge bar in the middle, and there's these tiny little like strips on left and right that you have to walk by the bar to get either side. And so we walk in, and there is a woman in like she's getting married, but she's she's in her dress, and you can tell
she's bachelorette garb.
Oh man, and you could tell she's like getting married or whatever, but she has
I'm out to ruin my marriage before it starts.
Yeah, and she's got all of her girlfriends around her, and you can tell it's a lively party, and they're all getting drunk. And Jeff looks at me and goes, oh man, this is
you got this one, rookie.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, you got this. And I look back at him like, oh man, this is like, I'm still in FTO, and I have to walk through this like group of them, but it's like the bar and the wall, and they're just all these girls right in between. And I have to walk through this group of girls, and there's this tiny little sliver of space. And I look back at him like, what am I supposed to do? Like, just butt through this group of girls. And
I'm drowning here, man. Help me.
And I look back, Grande Verga's already knowing where this is going. And I look back, and he's gone. He walked around the bar, and the other side had a sliver of space by the bar, and he walks that way and stops at the bar, starts talking to the bartender and watching me from the other side of the bar.
He's like, goes up to the bartender, buddy, and like, hey man, check this out, newbie.
And he's just standing there talking to the bartender, like, watch this new cop.
It's gonna be great.
And so, and I'm like, I looked for him. I'm like, where did my FTO go?
Where's my backup?
And so I'm like, well, I think he went to the other side.
He's on the stage. No.
So I'm like, I got to get through here. So I started kind of get a little anxious, like, oh crap, I gotta find him. So I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, I got to get through. And I start getting through, and the ladies are all drunk. They're at a bar. They're at a bar. They instantly look at me, fake badge, because it's a sewn-on badge.
Yeah.
Polo shirt, like Daisy Duke shorts.
I mean, there's real authority behind the badge, but it's not a real badge.
At the time, I'm in like really good shape at the time. I'm semi-attractive, and I'm like walking through, and they immediately think I'm a hired stripper cop.
He finally showed up, guys. Let's go.
Exactly. And they're like, oh my God, someone hired a stripper cop. And they immediately, all the girls surround me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, I'm with him. And they looked and they were like, oh, him. And he goes, like, totally let me be overwhelmed by these women. And these women start like dancing on me, like, and I'm just like, oh no.
The cop's like, hey, is that a bus I hear?
Oh man.
And so she's excited, and they're like, the girls were like pushing me into the woman that was like getting married or whatever. And I'm just like, listen, I'm a cop. There's a real gun, I'm like taking it serious and stuff. I'm like, come on, what are you doing?
It would have been funny if you just started breaking it down.
It was a mess. It was an absolute mess.
No, sorry. No, real gun, real badge. No.
Yeah.
It was a mess. And then I'm like thinking, I'm married, and this is terrible, and people are going to see this.
I've done something wrong. I know I have.
I know. And I'm an FTO, and I'm freaking out. I'm looking over, and my field training officer's just over there talking to the bartender, laughing his butt off. And I'm trying to get through this crowd, and he's like, you got to be able to handle yourself. Like, this is going to happen, man, So I realized I was on my own. I had to figure this out. Yeah. And so that's where I just I was like, listen,
so
don't touch me.
Yeah. Moral of the story, he started stripping and he made a lot of money.
Yeah. Moral of the story is I made $290 that night. No, I'm just kidding. But no, so I got a bit jerky that night with some ladies, and had to put a few of them in their place. That sucked, but
might have been the wrong word.
Yeah, I got a bit. I was a bit of a jerk. A bit of a jerk. Is that the right word? Bit of a jerk.
Too late.
Jerky. Wrong word choice. Wrong word choice.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slip. A bit jerky. Yeah, that was the
At least
wrong.
you weren't twerky, I suppose.
Just a bit.
Just a tad twerky.
Twerky. So anyway, long story short, I ruined their night, and I eventually backed out of that group. Ended up leaving, going outside, and he was like, he followed me outside, and he said, "Are you done with the bar check?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are you sure? Did you go to the back of the bar and check to make sure everything was fine and good to go?" And I said, "Oh, it's as good as it needs to be."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, you
Good as
didn't."
it's gonna get.
He said, "You didn't check the back of the bar." And I said, "I'll walk around and go through the back door." And he goes, "Okay, you know, if that's
Some
what you want to
prefer it that
do."
way.
So I walked around. I went through the back door of the bar, checked the back side, and then we ended up proceeding to leave. But
Check the backside.
he thought
we're
that
good.
was hilarious.
corner.
And the thing is, I think the biggest lesson learned there for me is bottom line. In life, you are going to get sabotaged sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
Listen, all y'all.
you're going to get jumped.
You're gonna get thrown to the wolves.
You're going to get thrown to the wolves. Things like that are going to happen. You're not going to get protected at times. Even people that you think are going to protect you, whether that's your friends, your family, your boss, your coworker, whatever, sometimes you just totally get hung out to dry.
Sometimes you can't just go get your manager.
Yep. Sometimes you just have to step up and you have to just
Be a man, Hulk.
take care of it yourself. And that was one of those situations where I just kind of got thrown into the wolves and I had to kind of just deal with it. But the other part of it is sometimes life throws you lemons. You got to make lemonade, right? And so that was one of those funny situations where I happened to look a bit like a stripper cop, and I walked right into a situation where a stripper cop would have been appropriate.
Oh, wow.
In that environment.
Yeah, I'm a super cop. No, I said stripper cop. Oh, wait.
Yeah. And so anyway, long story short, that was a weird night. I've never had a scenario like that since or before. So glad to say that. But my
That's
my
one you'll take
FTO
with
was
you for forever.
my FTO was filled with a lot of weird situations and stories like that. But I'm glad I did not lose my clothes that night. That was a good thing.
Yes.
Weird night, but well, I appreciate everybody who coming on to the show and hanging
see
out
ya.
with us. Appreciate.
Fun times as always.
Yep. Artisan K, thanks for coming on. Of course, SureShot, thanks for coming on as always.
Glad to be
Everybody
here.
popping on. Thanks. April Fools. Sorry for anybody who thought they were actually going to see the Galactic Legend unlocks. You can leave your hatred in the comments down below. I am sure
Yeah.
there are a few people ticked off that I used.
They'll get over it.
Yeah, April
There's a few other
Fools.
people you can watch actually swipe their credit card. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, there's always somebody who's going to spend money on the game, and I'm sorry that the game is turning as sour as it has. So
Be kind to all those guys in your guilds who actually get them. They probably worked pretty hard for it.
yeah, and by the way, they took away test accounts or something. That sucks for everybody who was using those. That's too bad.
Wait, again? I think they took test accounts away like 3 different times, didn't they?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Back when
tested
there was
positive.
some form of a Game Changers program? I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, peace out. You guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you guys keep your gaming on. Warrior, SureShot, and Artisan K out.